What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, successors? Y'all, I hope you're having a great Friday. It is May 16th, 2025. It's a great day to be alive. Glad to be here with you all today. This is Speak Your Success in the Morning with producer Britt and myself. So let's go ahead and get this ship rolling. Let's go get this train moving. Let's go get this boat shaking. Producer Britt, where you at? Come out, talk to the people.
Man, boats and moving and shaking.
Man, it's something about it's something about this audio producer, Britt. This thing coming through so
Hey,
clear.
y'all, we are so happy. Okay. We are extremely happy. First, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the
Mm,
show. Welcome, welcome,
mm,
welcome.
yeah,
But yeah, we are extremely happy, Jonathan and I. We both upgraded. We
man,
got new microphones
my
and
God,
we got headphones now.
Mm,
We legit, y'all. We legit. We moving up. And y'all moving up there with us, right, Jonathan?
man, moving up, moving out, shipping, shaking. Got the whole world earthquaking. I feel
We
great,
moving
man.
on up, like the
I
Jeffersons,
feel
man.
good.
We moving
Hey,
on
like
up.
yeah, like Wheezy and them,
Like Wheezy
like
and
Wheezy and
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's Friday. Feeling good. I feel great last night. Me and my wife last night were watching some movie. We finished the movie, but I don't know. Oh, then we started running back episodes of Ted Lasso, right? And
Okay.
then I
Can we
said,
know
you
the
know what?
movie? What's the movie?
Oh, what was the movie was like the transactions with Casey Affleck and Ving Rhames and
Action
uh
movie?
are the instigators? What was it? Let me
Is
hold
it
on,
action or
wait.
funny or?
Hold on, wait. Go. Let me kick it to you real quick, and I'm gonna find the title of this movie real quick, real quick.
Uh, I mean, I have been actually just got done watching. I was 2 episodes behind on Raising Canaan, which is a Power series, 50 Cent show on Stars, and so I'm caught up on that. I think we get the season finale tonight because it comes out on Fridays, so I would be extremely happy about that. Also, when Raising Canaan goes off, we get BMF, which is Black Mafia family about Big Meech and his reign in the drug world. So
Mm,
it's
okay.
real good. His son plays him, and yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the Power series. I love it. Love it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The instigators. The instigators. It had Matt Dillon in it and Casey Affleck. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
what's it
This is
about? What was? Is it action? Funny? What is it? I mean, Casey Affleck is.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a little bit of action. Well, okay. So this is categorized as a thriller and crime, not like thriller like Sinners type
Yeah,
deal,
yeah, yeah.
but
Suspense.
like it has some has some funny in there, a little bit of dry humor,
Mm-hmm.
but it's one of those movies to where it kind of you have it all, and it's like, okay, you have it all. Now, how do you feel? And then they go through and
Ah,
break
but it
that
was
down a
good
little
though.
bit. It was good. I
It was
enjoyed
good.
it. I
What?
enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Just enough action, but yeah. Not too much. Not too
Yeah.
crazy. Not Die Hard. Not Lethal
Mm-hmm.
Weapon. Just enough.
Wow. Wow.
Just enough.
Taking it back. I finally finished watching. I had to split this one up in 2 days. I finally finished watching Viola Davis and Anthony Anderson and G20.
What are your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. First of all, them together as a couple on screen is crazy.
Say more. Please
That
say
is
more.
weird. When Viola came into the daughter's room and then the dad came, I was like, Anthony Anderson. Because on the on the movie title, not the picture, it doesn't on the thumbnail on the movie, it don't say anything about Anthony Anderson. It's just her with the gun and
It don't
G20 and
say nothing about Anthony, and that caught me so off guard when I saw
so
Anthony.
off
I was like,
guard. I'm like,
Anthony
what is he
Anderson?
doing in here playing a
What is happening?
dad and playing the the husband of the president and then
I
Viola
mean,
Davis and
yeah. But what?
I
But the
mean
thing for
Viola
me,
Davis valid, of course,
well,
EGOT
yeah,
status, of course. But it's just that I think this is like one of her first. No, she did Woman King, I'm sorry. And then but I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. And I think that is something that's also not talked about, well, is kind of different for us to see in the black community when it comes to like movies like this, because we might see this same movie but all the actors are white and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then
Mhm.
when you see the black actors, you're like, why it seems so corny, why it
It
seem
did
like
it's
it seems so
it was
corny.
something. I couldn't put my finger on it. It was something, right? Because like Viola Davis, even though
Mhm.
she was a president, and even though she is a black woman doing what black women do, which is
Mhm.
multiple things at a high
Mhm.
level, it
Mhm.
was like, wait a minute though. You over here superhero status, you over here president. Like it was just a lot happening. I
Because
was like,
she was she was in the army. She she did so much,
it was
Jonathan, and I was like,
it was a
she's
lot.
just doing a lot. She's doing a lot. And
Every that
then
yeah.
the guy who played the villain, did you watch The Boys? Did you watch that?
Oh, the boy man, I
That's
was rocking with the boys.
Homelander. So that was Homelander. The guy who played the villain.
Okay,
Yeah,
Homelander.
so
I
that
remember
was
Homelander.
Homelander, and I
Hmm.
mean, like, I'm pretty sure he's typecast at this point because Homelander just, I mean, you just don't like him as a
Yeah, he's a
character,
terrible.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
I mean,
terrible
he played the
character.
role. He
Yes,
played that role
and
extremely well.
so when I'm like, okay, he's a bad guy, he makes a good bad guy, that makes sense. Woo doo woo doo woo doo woo, but what was and then the kids, the brother being the
Wait,
nerdy
wait, hold
brother.
wait,
The
wait, wait.
brother didn't have any friends.
I
The
gotta hop
sister
in
was
here.
the
I gotta
cool
hop in here
one.
because
Okay, what you got?
because we see the sister and then connected to Anthony Anderson. I was wondering when I was seeing them two doing all these podcast interviews. I was like, why are they
Oh yeah,
both on
you
all
said
these shows?
that.
I was like, what is happening? Because for me, the connection is Anthony Anderson, the dad in Grownish, right?
Right, right.
That's how I'm connecting him, and then seeing him as the husband, it was just
It was
wild.
so weird. If
It,
anything, y'all should have had Tracy Ellis Ross just be the president.
That's true.
They should have just brought the
Maybe
black
take
bitch.
off some of the action parts out, but yeah,
Yeah.
just Tracy Ellis Ross right there
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
Viola Davis was in their zombie land. She was right in the middle. She was getting them. She was right in the middle, right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, but there
So,
was a
so it's something about like when they put the black actors in with the corny
I agree.
movie, and then the white people in with the corny.
But
Because
yeah,
if
I
that was
don't
a
know.
white movie, I would have just expected it to be how it was. But I was like, Viola Davis, the president,
I wanted to
ripping her
like it.
dress in sneakers, holding a
I wanted to like it.
gun, and I wanted to like it, which is why I finished it because it took me 2 days because I was like, all right, 1 hour at a time, and I was just
Yeah,
like,
I wanted to. I
yeah,
wanted to. But
same, yeah,
now where we're at though, like I feel,
mm-hmm.
and this is that here we sound old segment, but now like where we are, I feel like
Age yourself, okay. Mm.
I feel like movies aren't consistently as good as they once were, right? Because now people
I'm
have
gonna find
taken,
that clip today while you're doing your segment. Matt Damon talked about that because remember I told you they're even coming out with Pretty Woman too.
yeah, it's like get off the gas, like stop recreating something that was fine. Like Pretty Woman, leave it where it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Period. Bad Boys could have stopped at any point.
Two.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Bad Boys 2, stop at at that's at its peak. Let it rock right there.
Peak. Let it rock.
Now Martin and Will are older and they're taking Rolaids and Martin got high blood pressure. Like, yeah, this is real life stuff, but we don't want to necessarily see the real life stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
movies. We see
Mm-hmm.
that in our lives. We
Yeah.
go to the
Just how
doctor.
Gladiator 2 was not good. Boo.
You've been holding on to that.
Boo. That
You
movie
have not let that go on.
sucked. That movie sucked.
It wasn't.
And
It
it was
well,
bad.
I haven't seen Gladiator 1, so I can't say nothing
You
about
haven't seen
Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 1?
I saw Gladiator 2 and I saw the guy who was sitting next to me and brother fell asleep in the
See,
movie.
you ain't gonna fall asleep in Gladiator 1
But I mean,
because
it's
that's
Denzel.
Not Russell Crowe, baby, played the Gladiator. This
I
different.
understand.
Denzel didn't even belong in that movie, and I love Denzel, but that was not his type of movie. So no.
I'm just glad they took out the part that they was talking about and that they
Oh
didn't let that
yeah,
play. I'm glad they took that part
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, with
yeah.
Denzel, the
Yeah,
part that
yeah.
won't
We
be
didn't
seen
need to
or
see it.
spoken of.
Yeah, we don't need to see. We don't need to see him
Nah, we
like
good on
that.
that. Y'all already taking out everybody else black that has status and that we admire. Leave us Denzel. Please leave Denzel alone.
Yeah,
Leave us Denzel.
Paulette ain't gonna let that happen. But moving right along. It's Friday. We still
It
need a
is Friday.
word of encouragement, Brother Jones. So let's hit it straight from the source.
Man, let's go straight from the source. And man, just that like producer Britt just said, yeah, we always do need a word of encouragement. And um we need one of those words that's consistent, right? Because there's very few things that are consistent as we're going through our day-to-day lives, as we're going through our relationships. Like a lot of times there are things that we will miss because consistency is not a real thing. Okay, it's not a real thing for many people. Let me say it like that. It's not a real thing. But today in our time, we're going to go to Hebrews in chapter 13, and I'm going to read a couple verses starting with verse 5. And it says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money, and be content with what you have, because God said, 'I will never leave you. I will never forsake you.' So we say with confidence, 'The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?'" Remember your leaders who spoke the word of God to you. Consider the outcome of their way of life and imitate their faith. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. And I wanted to read this, and because there's a lot of things happening in this text. Because the first thing is letting us, it says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. It's so easy, and I'll be the first one. It's so easy to look around, if it be on social media for me, if it be to look around in my day-to-day life, and I can begin to think to myself, man, I love that over there. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in my house, but I can be looking at somebody else's house. I can be looking at somebody else's car, and I can just begin to not only admire, but if I'm not careful, then I can get jealous of what I'm seeing other people and what they have, and me seeing what I potentially want, even though I can be complacent, excuse me, even though I can be content in what I have. Y'all, we have to be careful to where we don't begin to desire all these other things from other people, because we don't necessarily need a lot of other stuff, but we just got to be careful what our eye gate is telling us. And then and then the text where it talks about uh God said that I will never leave you nor will I forsake you. This is one of those promises. And that's the thing that's really dope about God, because God, he's not a man, so he can't lie. And knowing that, based on where you are in your life, maybe there's a family member, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, whoever it might be, they might have told you, hey, I'm coming back. And then they might have either never came back, or they might have came back later that day, and you were like, but I thought you said you were going to come back at this time. Because us as people, we're not infallible, right? So we are capable of lying, and we are capable of doing things that sometimes it's extremely frowned upon and really sad. But God is letting us know that he's not people, right? So this is one of those promises that God is giving us, letting us know that we can lean into, and we can take this to the bank, like people like to say, right? Like a good check, you can take it to the bank, and then you can cash it, because at the end of the day, if God said it, then he's going to stand on it. And just like the Bible also says, it says, the one who began a good work in you, he will see it to completion. So that means, despite where you are in your life, and if you might be feeling like, man, like right now in my life, I'm losing on the scoreboard. God, right now I'm struggling in my life. And I've been here, right? It's like those dark times to where you feel like nobody can relate to you. Nobody can see what you're going through. Nobody can empathize. God's saying, but the game ain't over yet. because I started a good work in you. I'm going to see it to completion. So just keep on rocking out with him, y'all. Just keep on rocking out. And then let's go a little bit further down in the text. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. Y'all, just imagine. Just imagine. I'm gonna go back to college because producer Britt, I used to struggle in college on some of these tests, some of these exams. They were tough. Do you understand? They were tough. But then there would be a point in time where the teacher would say, we're about halfway through the test, and they would see some of us struggling. They would say, you know what? Those of you all who did your study guide, you can now go into your backpack and you can take out your study guide and you can use that to finish your test. And I would almost lose my mind because I did my study guide. And that study guide had all the answers for the test, just as it says right here in the text. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. Imagine if you had your study guide with you and you can refer to your study guide, and your study guide can give you insight. Your study guide can give you direction. Y'all, so that's the Holy Spirit. Because at the end of the day, the Holy Spirit is always with you. The more time we put in with the Holy Spirit through reading the Bible and through prayer, then now when we're in certain situations, now we can better navigate because the Holy Spirit, he can provide us guidance, and we have that reception to ask questions, to pray, and to talk through. And then the last thing I want to hit on, just down at the bottom, it says, consider the outcome of their way of life and imitate their faith, because Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. If I was to ask you, this is the challenge, right? If I was to ask you, what are three things that you can look at in your life and say, these things are constants? Right? You can wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, this thing will be happening. You can wake up at 6 o'clock at night, this thing will be happening. I will guarantee, I will guarantee for each and every one of us, there are very few things in our lives that are constant, despite the day, despite the hour, despite the time. But the thing about Jesus Christ died for you yesterday. He died for you 2,000 years ago, and he's going to die for your future sins. Why? Because he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I want you all to remember that. Be reminded of that, because there's going to be times to where, based on how you feel, it can affect you, what your perspective of your relationship is with Jesus. But that's not the case. Y'all, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So be encouraged and be reminded. This is the challenge. Despite whatever is happening around you, despite what happens in the news, despite what happens in your relationship, despite what happens on your job, Jesus is the same. And you can continue to have that relationship with him, and you can continue to tap in, because he's not going nowhere. He's consistent. So let's just make sure that we're consistent and calling on him, and let's make sure we're consistent in praying. All right, family. This is Jonathan Jones. That has been straight from the source. It is 18 minutes after the hour, and we'll be right back with more Speaker Success in the Morning. Looking for an exciting workout that's not only fun but makes you feel alive? It's time to step up your fitness. Extreme Hip Hop with Treese, that's your answer. This isn't your typical workout. Extreme Hip Hop with Treese is an energizing step workout that combines simple moves with fresh beats, both old and new, creating an atmosphere that makes fitness exciting. With a focus on all elements of fitness, cardio, muscular conditioning, flexibility, and balance, you're guaranteed to burn calories and get addicted to the energy. Extreme becomes your safe space, which is a welcome environment where everyone is accepted. It's where you can let go of those worries of the world and focus on getting healthy. Ready to get energized? Join Extreme Hip Hop with Treese today. What's going on, family? What's going on, family? What's going on, family? Welcome back to Speaker Success in the Morning. Y'all, today is Friday, May 16th, 2025. And y'all know, man, it's a great day to be alive. Producer Britt, come on back out. Let's talk to the people.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's talk
yeah.
to the
It don't
people.
feel like Friday though, you know?
I don't know what it feels like right now,
It
honestly,
feel
but it,
like
it, it don't feel like a
I feel
Friday.
like we went back to Tuesday or something. I don't know. It
I
don't
can
feel like
see that.
yeah, it don't feel
I'm
like
with you on that.
Friday. It don't feel like
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah. I mean, but we also
Um,
did miss 3 days this week. So
I think it
that
don't feel
that
like
could
Friday
be it.
because we gotta go to work. But you know,
That might be it too. But
it
I mean, but for the rest of the grown folks in the world, they got to go to work on Friday too.
don't feel like
So
my Friday, y'all. That's what it don't feel like my Friday. Okay, my Fridays I normally do the show, and then I can either go back to sleep, but I can't do that today.
no way you go. Do you really go back to sleep?
Man, I'm tired. I wake up at 4 a.m. I need a break. I need a nap.
You don't wake up at 4 a.m. Stop saying that.
Yes, I do. My
Cap.
alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
Your alarm goes off at 4 a.m. Is that what
I
time you
woke
actually
up
get up?
at three. I woke up at 3:50 today. Ozzy is my witness.
What time you go to sleep last night?
Mm, 10:30.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I gotta sleep.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Go
Fair
ahead,
enough.
sleep over here. Okay.
I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. All right, man. You sent me some stuff offline. As far as you've lately been collecting things. So I'm gonna pass you the rock, man. What you got? What's up?
Oh
What we
man.
talking
Okay.
about?
So,
Yeah.
well, first you want to talk about the interview? Let's talk about the interview first.
Okay. How do you start?
What? Oh, okay. So y'all, there was an interview. Shout out to Cam Newton. Shout out to the Funky Friday team over there, Amari Collins, all them good people.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam Newton interviewed Nuri Muhammad.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
and, and
mm,
and 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 Nuri Muhammad is a prominent figure. I know for the Nation of Islam, and I mean he's just doing great work educating people. And if you have not seen any of his information, he's like he does a great job, just holistic education. Producer Britt.
just stuff that you should know. Just
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have not watched the whole interview. I have about 40
Still?
minutes.
It's
It's
been 2
three and a
weeks.
half hours. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
No,
You
I started
bite
this
size.
week. I started this week, but it is 3.5 hours. I would say if you are gonna watch it, don't get discouraged about the time. I was reading
Uh-huh.
it when I was, walking, doing my daily walks. Now back to doing that.
Oh, daily
Um,
walks. Okay.
daily
Okay,
walks,
daily
little
walks.
jog in there as well. So, yeah. So, it was just so powerful,
Yeah,
informative, educational. um he gets your mind right, because I'm
man,
like, wow, there's just certain things that you're like, you see on a surface level, but he
sure.
all the way down here, giving to you how you should be learning it. And yeah, yeah.
Man, well,
I
okay, so what
I did
go
like
go ahead,
one
go ahead.
quote. Well, this one thing Minister Farrakhan said, true. It, I don't know how to explain it, but he said true Christians are Muslims, and then true Muslims are Christian. I didn't really understand.
He did say that. He did say, man,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Of course you're gonna bring that one up.
Oh,
But he
okay.
said, and I'm saying based on because I'm trying to requote it too.
Mhm.
But basically he said it because it's based on like a level of belief, and we're gonna have to cut the
Mm,
clip and then repost it on Speaker Says in the morning.
sounds good.
I will, yeah, I'll cut that clip and get it posted. But
Uh,
there was a lot of things that, well, hold on. First, let me take a step back. I'm gonna get
okay.
to you, but let me take
Okay.
a
Okay.
step back.
Okay.
So when I was in graduate school, we had this assignment to where we were challenged to whatever our belief was, right? If we believed in, if we were Christians or if we were Muslims or if we were Jewish, whatever that belief was and whatever what was normal for us,
Uh huh.
we had to switch it up. So, for instance, I ended up going to a mosque, right? Never
Okay.
been to a mosque before,
Uh huh.
and we had to do an immersive experience to where now we could be able to speak to a different religious culture and speak to a religious experience, just so that when it came time for us to counsel somebody who might not have aligned with our faith, that there would be a different level of understanding for us and different talking points that we could speak to and different things like that. So
Mm.
okay, so I said all that because I went to a mosque, and then I later understood and realized after that that people of who represent the Nation of Islam are Muslims and also Christians. The beliefs aren't totally different.
Different. Correct.
There's not total, and this is the thing that this is the thing as Christians, as people, as good human beings, we
Mhm.
need to better understand before we make judgment of people. Because I'll be the first one to say, driving down the street, and you hear all the people say thing about the bean pies, and you hear, oh, and now the bean pies actually makes a lot more sense to me.
It
But
does.
you see the brothers selling selling the newspapers and stuff, and then you just make assumptions and judgments based on what you think you know. But if
Mhm.
you don't know that information, or you haven't had certain experiences, then it's like, hold on, wait. Well, why did I think that? And you got
Yep.
to really challenge your beliefs, and then you got to take an internal, producer Brit. You got to
Yeah.
take it internal, which we
Cause,
don't want to do.
Cause we were talking offline, and I was like, "Man, he sounding right now. He
Say,
sounded real."
say, he said, first of all,
Mhm.
anybody who looked like he looked, you gotta at least listen to him.
You have to. He's been
You
in that
gotta
since he was
listen.
16 years old. Um, been there
And then
16 years old.
started to
He's
speak because
50. Yeah, started
because
speaking
it
at
was
17.
14. I think he jumped. I think not jumped
Yeah,
in,
you're right.
but I
You're
think
right.
he joined at
14.
14 because you said it yesterday.
Uh huh.
Then he started speaking at 16 or 17
Yep.
since.
Since, and he's 50
And
years old right now.
man, man, but here's the part for me. Here's the
Yeah,
part for
we
me. I
get so
always gotta say this.
passionate, we can't even explain it. Y'all just
Man,
need to go
say.
watch it. I'm telling
Man,
you,
y'all gotta watch
it's
the interview.
so
Y'all gotta
good.
watch the interview.
And
I'm gonna actually link it in the comments because it's worth it.
and
It's worth it.
all the other interviews with Cam Newton, asking these weird relationship questions, or just being outlandish sometimes,
Not weird relationship questions.
bringing up the fact that he, doesn't like marriage or anything like that. When he sat down with Nuri Muhammad,
Hmm.
he was respectful. I mean, you gotta be, in my opinion. He was
Oh yeah.
respectful. Um, he even used it, in my opinion, as his own therapy. Well, I wouldn't say therapy session, but a conversation.
Information session.
Yeah, information session
Information session for sure.
for himself, because he said that he's working on himself, and how he talked about how he doesn't drink, how he doesn't smoke, he might have some wine here and there, but just the challenges that Cam Newton was facing. And he was like, I gotta ask a personal question. I gotta ask a personal question.
Yeah,
Because it was
yeah.
like, you have someone with that amount of knowledge sitting in front of you, you better get yourself right. You better ask.
I
I know
agree.
I would. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, and then just so watching this interview, and this is, I think, some of the healthiest parts of, like, this podcast movement, and people having platforms and being able to bring people on and talk about topics like this. One of the biggest things that I took away from this interview was, I need to learn more and I need to apply more in multiple areas. Because
Yes.
as I'm listening to Nuri Muhammad, not only is he quoting the Quran, not only is he quoting the Bible, he's also
Mm.
quoting Louis Farrakhan, and also quoting Elijah Muhammad. And then he's talking about why he eats certain stuff and why he doesn't eat certain stuff. And
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, and then on top of that, he's just speaking. He, like how you said, I'm just saying it so you don't forget. He's just speaking off just facts that he just knows as well.
Facts that he knows, because it's one thing for you to say, oh yeah, I think this, I think that. Nah, brother wasn't thinking. he
He was
he was he was
telling you.
definite. Yeah, he was definite. And then he was saying, even talking about, to where talking about to where, him and Cam started talking about, like, alcohol, and he was like, you drink? He was like, nah, brother Cam, I don't drink. Because you can, based on why they extract what they extract from grapes, it's for this purpose. But you can get that by drinking non-alcoholic, and you can still get the benefits without, being under the influence. And I'm
Yeah.
like, say, brother here is really going in. And then we got to talk about it, producer Britt,
What?
the aspect to where he began to separate the difference between white families and black families when it comes to putting their families in sports, or putting
Oh
their
man, yeah. And
yeah.
I like the fact that how he the white families and the black families. So white kids, they put their kids in school to learn the disciplines of the sport.
Mm.
Black people put their black kid blah, 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 blah. Our community, we put our kids in school in sports to make it to the league, and so
Yeah.
it's like, and then a coach, that's one, your son, your daughter, they got it, so you put more money into that because you're like, oh, they got a chance, they're going to the league. And then he broke it down. He said there's half a million kids that do sports, and then there's a percentage that go to college, and then there's a percentage that go to the league. And then once you get to the
Mhm.
league, out of that percentage, only seven players become starting players with a 3 to 4, 5, with a three to
Yeah,
five
it's like the
year span.
lifetime of the span, yeah, of the sport. Yeah.
Whereas the white community, they took they put their kids in sports. They learned the disciplines of that sport, and then
Mhm.
they transferred those disciplines
That's it right there.
into a doctor's office, into a dentist's office, into a lawyer's practice, until they do that. And
So the focus was never going pro. The focus was always get and master the mechanics, the
mhm,
disciplines to where you can get this ingrained and you can apply it wherever. Not
yeah,
this applies to the football field. This applies to the basketball court. This
mhm.
applies to this sport or that sport. But man, but hearing that, it's like, oh wow, that is true.
That is
Like
so true.
like
That
because
is
I
so
mean,
true.
and then even if the parents don't push that,
Mhm.
right? They could allow it, which I'm not here to judge if that's right
Mhm.
or wrong, but but I will say that I even know in my own life, like when I'm in high school, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to go to UNC, I'm trying to go to Duke. And it wasn't I was trying to go there to get education. I'm trying to go there to hoop,
Play
right? I want to play
basketball,
Chapel. Yeah, I
yeah.
want to play Chapel Hill. I want to play Cameron Indoor Stadium. And I never thought about until after I'm done playing. Now I'm like, oh wow, this is what sports taught me. But this is I don't know how many years removed now, but it's like,
Right.
imagine if I focused on that before. Yeah, of course, the attitude is one of the things that we most focus on because, hey, sometimes the attitude can be trash.
Yeah.
But it's like, what
It's
if,
the
what if,
disciplines of the sport. Yeah.
what if we began to shift the focus a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Began to shift the focus. Yeah, you want to go to the league? Great. Okay. Where else can these skills be applied? Why you in middle
Right.
school? Why you in
Right.
high school? So,
Right.
man, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was. And then the
so
part where
educational
he
and
talked
informative.
about, and then when he brought up the fact that, white kids and black kids, they start school at the same time, whereas in the white boy, he goes through grade school and he sees everyone that looks like him, and so he walks out of school with his head high. Whereas
Mm,
the black boy, he goes to school, same school system, same teaching, but you don't see anyone like you. And
true.
so therefore, he comes out of school angry because you've only seen your people in a cotton field.
Slavery.
Yeah,
You
you've
only
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 seen
seen
them
them
in a
slavery
cotton field.
time. You
Yeah.
never heard your teachers, your professors, your educators talk about those leaders in the Black community, like how those who do talk
Mhm.
about Black history, they always talk about who? Massa Musa, who
Yeah.
who is known as one of the richest, of our people of all time,
But
but
you don't learn
that
that in school.
you ain't gonna learn that in school.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna learn about our people building the pyramids. You ain't
Yeah.
gonna learn about that. So, man,
Man,
it it
I'm
re
gonna
it
keep
really it
saying
really
it, but
opened your boy up.
y'all really need to go.
It
Y'all
really
gotta.
opened your boy. I'm gonna go back and re-listen to it. I'm gonna go back and re-listen to it because even hearing him talk about because Cam brought this up, right? Because Cam and we joke about this all the time because
Mhm.
Cam always does bring up the relationship aspect of it, right? And
Mhm.
then Cam asked him, "Does somebody need to be married to really become their best self?" I'm not sure if you got to this part
Oh
yet
no, I'm
in the
not there
interview.
yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah, but go
towards
ahead
the
and talk
end.
about it.
But yeah, he said, but does somebody really need to be married to become their best self? And he says, well, in order to really tap in because synopsis is Nuri basically said, this is the way it was created, right?
Mhm.
And because there's only certain things that come from like that's extracted through marriage,
Mhm.
right? Because he was like, this is the creator's design, and this Britt, I got it right here. Hold on.
Oh
I
my
typed the note. I typed the note.
god. Okay.
Oh my goodness. What is it? But you talk for a second.
No,
Just talk
but
real
just
quick. Talk real
okay.
quick.
So, I'm at the point where they were talking about fasting, and so he said, what is what is a full fast in the Nation of Islam, and he talked about one full fast, 24 hours. I know Muhammad Nuri, yeah, no, Muhammad Nuri, what Nuri Muhammad
Nuri
said that.
Muhammad. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what? Why am I saying it like that? He said that the longest he's fasted was 21 days. Obviously, as Christians, we do fast. But when they come off that fast, when we come off a fast, we eating whatever whatever we see in sight. When they come off a fast, they eating beans with the milk. They take the starch out the
Oh yeah, that boy
rice,
that boy said navy beans.
navy beans,
Navy bean soup.
soup. And so I'm like, wow, their discipline is just on another level. It's just on another level that
Dang,
I
Britt, I can't find it. I
that
can't
I am
find
just so appreciative of, because I'm like, I'm learning right now in this 3.5 hours. I mean, I got 40 minutes left, but I am learning right
it.
now.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's
So
that
much.
man.
And then
Britt.
even
Oh, go ahead. Go. No, I was about to say
no,
I was about to say I'm so passionate about this right now. What I'm about to commit to is about to sound so crazy, but I'm about to say I'm gonna cut a couple of clips and I'm gonna put it on the Speaker Success in the Morning page. I'm gonna say, hey y'all, this is the clip we was talking about. And roll it on
yeah.
the page because y'all need that. Like this is information that like and I always lean into it because there's a couple things that our culture has constantly missed. It's
Mhm.
the financial gap, so the wealth gap, and the education and information gap. And if we never attack those consistently, then we can't complain about what's happening around us as a
That
whole.
is so
So
true.
as we learn, we have to share. And as y'all do the same thing. Good morning, Ricky Reed. Good morning. Love
Good
you guys'
morning. Good
work.
morning.
What, Ricky? Come on, brother. Come in here for the real deal. Come in here then.
Yes.
You family. Dang. Y'all. And if y'all are not connected with us, please shoot a DM to at Speaker Success in the Morning on Instagram, just so we can shout you out. We can screenshot you. We can tag you so we know. We can put a face with a name. Cause y'all,
Period.
yeah, man. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry, I cut you off. But yeah,
No,
we
and
gotta
then
we
I
got to
mean, there's
cycle some of
just
these
so
clips.
yeah. I mean, we're definitely gonna have to dive back in just so we can like hit on all the points. But whenever I finish, but he talked about the women, because Cam was like,
Oh,
he said we
speak
never
on it.
see. Okay, okay, no,
Speak on it.
I'm gonna start it, but you gotta finish it because you
Yeah,
closed
yeah,
it very
yeah,
well.
yeah.
But
Speak on it.
Cam said, we never see y'all's women. We never see y'all's women.
Mhm.
And Nuri Muhammad has been married to the same woman since he was they got married at 19.
Mhm.
And he's 50 years old right now. They're still married and he has 3 kids. But Cam was like, we don't see, we don't ever see y'all. He was like, with the women. And then he was like, today you showed up with, your brothers,
Yeah, you got some
and
team with you. Got
or
your
you
team
got
with
some
you.
team with you. And, Cam was just like, where are the women? So take it from
Yeah.
there, Jonathan.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so he said, "Where are the women?" He said, "Well, see, first of all, brother Cam," and so he said, "Brother
Yes,
Cam, first
yes,
of all, what you
yes.
got to understand is the women are as capable as us, so they're trained in the same way. So
Mm-hmm.
of course, they're trained not to lead with violence, but they can protect themselves, the men and the women.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, that's dope to be able to stand on that. But then he said the reason why you don't see the women with us is because now the guys were protecting Nuri Muhammad." But he said if there were women with us, then they would be the object of protection.
Mm.
So powerful to hear.
So true.
So powerful, especially in this time in our culture. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
understanding, like, we have to protect our women. Like, we really have to protect our black women. Y'all, and if you're just tapping in, first of all, it is 40 minutes after the hour. But y'all, we're just having a little chat on this fun Friday. But we're unpacking the Nuri Muhammad interview with Cam Newton. That was on Funky Friday because there was so much principles and so much game to extract. But producer
So
Britt,
good, y'all.
so
Yeah.
hearing him say that, it's like hearing and valuing not only his women, not only his woman, but the women of the community. And then there was even a part to where they started going back and forth to where Cam brought up the part, since we're talking about women, Cam
Mm-hmm.
brought up the part about temptation, right? Cam was like,
Yep.
hey, brother Muhammad, how you deal with temptation? He said, hey, brother Cam, well, imagine if when you see another woman and you just address her as your sister, you're like, hey, sister, hey,
Mm-hmm.
sister. Because if it's vice versa, she see you be like, hey, what's going on,
Hey,
brother?
brother.
And
Yeah.
then that lowers those defenses a little bit, because now it's like, in that familial relationship
Yeah.
versus like a, like pursuing type
Uh-huh.
relationship, which also shows respect for the woman once again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
It's so
man.
good. It's
Man,
so good.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Ricky Reed said, now that is powerful.
That
Ain't it
that is
though? Ain't
right.
it?
It is
Like,
because I mean, we're the. I mean, yes, of course, we have some great women out there that have good head on their shoulders and emotional intelligence, and yes, we have those, but our young girls right now,
oh
I
Lord,
mean, I can't stand getting
Jesus.
on. I wouldn't say I can't stand getting on TikTok or social media because I love the platforms. It's just that how they carry themselves on the platforms. And it's like, you really think that is the way?
Wow.
So yeah, it could be
Uh,
disturbing because you don't know how that you should be treated. And that is
mm,
one thing, and that's one thing that he talked about in the interview as well. It's like, well, if we knew how to treat ourselves, then you wouldn't act like that. You just wouldn't act like
mm.
that. So yeah.
Producer Britt, I got to jump in here. So this is a great point to pivot a little bit.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
as we're talking about the women, the up and coming women of the next
Uh-huh.
generation, we got to
Uh-huh.
talk about the young men too. And, and
Yeah.
one of the things that we have to be aware of is, y'all, we have to be careful. One, of the influences that we're putting out, but two, to make sure that these young people aren't just blindly following people. We've been seeing in the news. We've been seeing in the news.
Forget the news. We work with two college kids, right, guys? We work with two college kids, and we were talking about the whole Haley Bailey and the DDG situation,
EDG,
also with the
man.
Tory Lanez and the Megan Thee Stallion situation. And they were both
Yeah.
like, free Tory. And then another one was like, free DDG. And I
Mm,
said, y'all
mm.
gotta learn to protect black women. But they were like,
Oh Lord.
well, she could be lying. Da, 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 da. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
y'all don't even know what happened. Like, none of
Mm,
us truly know what happened. Okay. None of us
mm-mm,
truly know what happened. But
mm-mm.
if the woman said, I mean, she said she got shot. She said she got fragments in it in her foot. That was Megan. And then Haley, she said she had the chip. I mean, we saw the pictures of the chipped tooth, and she has some pictures of some bruises. This, that, and the third. People are talking about the location doesn't add up. Da 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 da. All I know is that restraining order got cleared, and those are pretty hard to get.
Say
So,
one of the things we gotta get past though
uh
is
huh.
like challenging, like for the black community as a whole, y'all. Like
Yeah, we
really,
gotta
if
challenge
somebody
ourselves.
if somebody say, first of all, it got to start in integrity, right? And I'm saying that just to put the umbrella over the whole thing. But after that, if somebody says that they were harmed, if somebody says that they were abused, if somebody says that they were assaulted, that's not our place to challenge. They have a whole
Right.
court, they have a whole law system, they have that whole process. They got attorneys, they got people that's paid for that, they get fees and all that. Let's not challenge that, y'all,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, if you going in on somebody and then the roles are reversed, and then now you're like, hey, they hurt me, they hit me, and they like, nah, why would we believe you? You just talking. You would be really hurt. You would be
Yeah.
really offended
Yeah,
if you're
cause
like,
they don't.
why
I
can't y'all
mean,
believe me?
they don't do the white people like that.
Man,
So,
what? The
and
one
they
we were talking
especially
about the
don't do
woman the
white.
other
Yeah, I was
we was
saying
talking about the
especially
woman the
white
other day.
girls. Yeah.
We was talking about Emmett, the woman who got
Oh,
Emmett
the girl
Till.
on TikTok. Y'all, there was a girl on TikTok, right? I was scrolling on TikTok, and she was
Producer Britt
going.
gonna scroll on TikTok.
She
What's
was
she gonna do?
going. She was going back and forth with this girl on social media on TikTok, And if you're on TikTok, you know that you can stitch videos, da 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 da. So
Wait,
she
wait,
was,
wait. And just so y'all know, a stitch is to where you can hop in a video and like kind of talk about it and
yeah.
or where you'll be in the front of it. Yeah, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
think our audience
I'm just making sure everybody know.
understands
Remember, we did the demographics
stitches.
and we got some seasoned saints rocking with us. Shout out to the
So
seasoned saints, the
shout out to
seasoned
the season
successors.
saint.
Yeah, the seasoned
So,
successors. Let's go.
so, so
Let's go.
so she stitched a video, and the girl was like, "Girl, don't nobody care about no Emmett Till." And
Jesus.
I can't
That
believe
wasn't a
she said
black
that.
woman that said that, was it?
That was a black woman that said that, that
Oh,
had a bonnet
Jesus.
on, that was sitting in
Oh,
her
sister.
bed
Ah.
with a sheet as a curtain on her thing.
Oh,
So I'm
no.
like, how dare you say we don't care about Emmett Till? That
The
white woman didn't lie
disrespect.
on that boy.
No, we definitely do. We
Horrible.
definitely do care about
We
Emmett Till.
definitely care about Emmett Till.
Emmett Till's like one of the primary people that we learn about in school, and
I mean,
I
they
think
at
there
least
could
teach
be
us that.
I think there could be
What?
some programming with that because I mean he's not a black woman, he's not a black man that we learn about that has a positive outcome.
Right.
So it could be sending a
Right.
message. We
Right.
don't want to go down too
We
deep.
ain't
No,
going
go
too
down too
deep,
deep. But
but
that's crazy.
that's crazy because
You can't say that.
and then there was a guy that stitched her video and was like, and went down the history, and told us who Emmett Till was and da 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 da. I'm like, that's like you're uneducated.
That's extremely uneducated.
That's so uneducated. So it's like, how dare you say we don't care about Emmett Till? Yeah, we care about Emmett Till.
That's
And then that
offensive.
lady on her deathbed gonna say that he didn't do that. I'm like,
That she could have kept that one.
yeah,
She could you should have
yeah.
just took that. You could have
You
took
should have
because by
took
you saying that,
that.
that didn't do nothing for nobody. I don't know who
Nothing. You
that
didn't do
helped.
nothing. You
That
didn't
didn't
help
help Emmett. That
nobody.
didn't help his mama. That didn't help his family. I think he was with his uncle when they were in that store. I think back in the day.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So I mean, nah, man. Anyway, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That
Oh
girl
man,
on TikTok, that drove me wild because I'm like, yeah, I don't think the Gen Zers really know what's happening. Of course, there's some smart ones out there that are raised
there's
in
some
a good
smart ones.
household and understand, read and all that good stuff. But good lord, that girl said we don't care about him too.
Yeah,
I was like,
that
babe, that's
that
not the
that's
right thing to say. Not on the internet. You can't say
that's
that
an
type.
unhot
You
take.
can't say that on
I
the
mean, she was trying to
internet.
go viral for that. That's all that was.
She didn't know who he was because that's why I'm like, you. That's how uneducated because you didn't know who he was. So you just diarrhea at the mouth. You just saying whatever, thinking that it sound good or saying your true thoughts. Maybe you should do some research before that because now your comment section is very negative. You got your own
Comment
people.
section is
You got
toxic.
your own. You got your own community in there saying, "Girl, you tripping. You look crazy." Of course, we care about Emmett Till. Of course, this, that, and the third, yada 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 yada. But yeah, you look dumb. That's what you
What
look dumb
what
if you
what
don't
we
know
do
who he
care
is.
about? What we do care about? We got to pivot off this. What we do
Oh
care
yeah,
about?
yeah, we gotta get out of it.
What we do care about with this education though? Angel Reese and Magic Johnson. Did you see this? Angel Reese and Magic Johnson teaming up. Did you
First,
hear about
before
this?
you get into this good story, I just want to
Oh,
say Angel Reese did a interview press conference, post interview, what have you, of the game, and somebody asked her
mhm.
a question, and then they asked her the question. It was last year you spoke about. I'm paraphrasing right now. Last year you spoke about how the league is becoming more popular because of two people, and that was I think that was her and Caitlyn of who she might
Mhm.
be addressing, and then the guy was like, what what do you think about the league now? And then she said, next question, and everybody in the comments
Oh.
yeah, and
Huh.
everybody in the comments was like, no, keep that same energy, boo, keep that same energy. You said, but the people in the comments were like,
Hmm.
nobody's paying money because Andrew Reese can't make a layup.
Oh my goodness. You and this Angel Reese not making layups businesses. But why I don't know why
Why
it
she can't
like
make? Why she
if
can't make a layup?
It
I don't
well,
know.
no, Jesus, I missed some layups in my time too. But what I just want to understand, you get more rebounds as a post player. Okay, she was
Whatever.
getting double doubles. But
Whatever.
what I want to understand though, if you were part of the well, first of all, it was the storyline of putting the black Angel Reese against the white Caitlin Clark. Yeah, that's gonna do that's gonna help you do numbers because it's creating that whole
Mhm.
bird magic bird Jordan type dynamic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But either way, like if the league has built and you've contributed to that and people have made mention of that,
Stand
why
on
not
that.
speak to it? Yeah, why not speak to it?
Stand on that.
Like last year, yeah, this is what we did,
And
and
this year
then
we got Paige, and this year we got such and such. Whoever got
why
drafted, I would have kept saying it
why
instead of
not? You
saying
got
next question.
they asking you the question. What? They're giving you the opportunity to come on, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
Sometimes.
that's a missed opportunity. That's a missed
Yeah.
opportunity. I would have owned it. Well, hey, last year y'all seen what happened. Y'all created the storyline and we just rolled with the storyline.
And now
Now we're
we
here.
moving on to another
Now,
storyline.
now, yeah, now we here. We're gonna see what's next. Paige playing this year. Hey,
I'm excited
I'm
to
looking
see
forward to
it.
playing Dallas. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
playing
that's
in Dallas.
exactly. So
That's it.
yeah, they should have told her that right before she went on. But yeah, she skipped that question, and I was like,
Who's your PR team? Come on, Angel Reese. That's a PR missed opportunity.
right. And
But
you're right, Ricky. I think he said, I think we as a people of color need to teach our children about Black history and not leave it up to school. And that's what they talked about in the interview,
that's what he
Ricky.
said in the
He
inter.
did say
That was
he
another
said he
challenge
did
for
it.
me.
He
Oh,
did
Ricky
that
brought it
for
back
his
up.
daughter. Well, he does that for his kids. So during the
Ricky brought it
summertime,
back up.
he pays them $100 per book.
He started
And
doing that. He said he
yeah,
started
yeah,
doing that. I
he
don't
said he
understand
started doing that.
that.
He
Yeah.
said he started doing that, $100 per book, and he said it would give him accountability too because he would have to read the book, and then they would talk about the book, and then she would make her
Hmm.
money. And then at the end of the summer, or the end of however many books she read, because she read about 14 books, she was like, you
Hmm.
know what, Daddy, I don't even want the money because I got more knowledge than what the money. And he's like, of
Crazy.
course, I still gave her money, this, that, and the third, but
Hmm.
look at the incentives. Sometimes,
That
sometimes
was
we need
so.
incentives, and that's okay.
That was so challenging. I mean, we all been a part of summer reading programs. If it was by the library,
Yeah,
if it was our parent,
a
I remember.
hundred books for a personal pizza. They robbed us though. We should have got a full
Oh,
ride.
I mean, the currency has changed, inflation, all those good things. But Ricky brought it back up. Man, that challenged me to think. I'm like, man. So I think maybe since starting that interview, then my son came to me with these flashcards. I sat there with that baby. We went through this whole stack, about 150 flashcards. Like, what's this? Bow. What's this?
It
Bow.
changed
What's
you.
this? Bow.
It
But
changed
but
you.
this is once again one of those
Mhm.
things to where when information hits you, you get educated. You can't just sit on it. You got to
Mhm.
go implement it as soon as possible,
Yeah.
right? As soon
Yeah.
as possible to have a conversation with somebody else, because then it's gonna really trickle down and move down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
speaking of information trickling and moving down, Angel Reese and Magic Johnson, like I
Oh
said,
yes.
they have
Right.
launched a new financial literacy program, Wealth Playbook, for
In
high school
certain
seniors
areas. Yeah.
in Baltimore.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Baltimore.
In
In
Baltimore.
Baltimore. But this is a place to where it's needed because Baltimore,
Mm.
that crime rate in Baltimore is crazy. That's where Dr. Evans is from.
Yeah.
Baltimore. And he talked about
Mhm.
it's tough up
It's
there,
bad
man.
out there. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough up
Yeah.
there. So
And they probably still
kudos,
do it. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, kudos to Andrew Reese doing that, and kudos to Uncle Magic Johnson, billionaire status. He should be somebody creating a wealth playbook because Magic Johnson theaters and Magic Johnson
Oh, and that
teams.
was another thing Nuri Muhammad said. He said the G League, well, it was a D League at the time, but they
Hmm.
brought Magic Johnson in there. And if you watch, well, if you know Magic Johnson's history as far as like when he got into the league, and obviously star player, but
Hmm.
the Bus family, Dr. Bus, the owner of the Lakers, pretty much put
Hmm.
him under his wing and brought him all, and taught him all this business
Hmm.
education. And
Yeah.
so when So when the G League, well, it was the D League then, but the D League brought Magic Johnson was like, I don't want you now that you've mastered basketball, let's master business.
Mm-hmm.
And they never invited him back ever again.
Never invited
And
him back to
Magic
speak, which is
Johnson owns
crazy.
what? The Dodgers.
Oh my
He
goodness.
owns
He got ownership stake. Dodgers.
Dodgers. It's another
I can't
LA
remember the other
team,
thing. I know he
right?
got I know he got the Magic Johnson theaters, got the streaming platform. I mean, we can go
Yeah.
down. We can go down the list. But the other thing there is understanding that Magic Johnson also put in a level of work. I don't know if people saw Winning Time or if they even saw some of the
Okay, really
documentaries.
quick. He
Oh, go
owns
ahead.
the Dodgers, the LA Sparks, the FC, so that's soccer,
I
and
knew it was
then
soccer team.
the oh, I didn't know the Washington Commanders.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. He got some ownership. He
Dang.
got some ownership there.
And then also the Washington Spirit, whatever the Washington Spirit is.
Washington
But
Spirit. Is that
yeah, I don't know.
that's basketball too?
I don't
Well,
know.
nah, he couldn't own two
You can't
WNBA
own two
teams.
basketball teams.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
don't
yeah.
matter. He got all this business
Yeah, he
experience
got
and
that,
he was trying to
man.
give it
Say,
to young basketball players that
hmm.
somebody gave it to him and obviously you're trying to pass it down to your community and they never
And
invited that man ever
because
again.
another thing that Nur Muhammad talked about was as we were going through this educational cycle and as we were going through, there were a few things that we never learned. We never learned the science of warfare. We never
Mhm.
learned the financial literacy. And
Mm.
if we don't learn financial literacy, but we got all these black people starting black businesses, there's no wonder why they're going under within the first 3 years
Okay,
because
Muhammad.
we don't know how to master the finances.
Yeah.
I ain't told you before offline, like finances is something that I struggle with. Cause your
Mhm.
boy, I get this. I'm like, okay, cool, get that, pay it off, great. But then I'm like, oh, okay. And then just run something else up. And the next thing you know, boy got a credit card bill sky high. It's
Spend a
crazy out
check
here in
and
these
get it
streets.
right back.
It's
That is
it's crazy out here. But that's our culture,
that's
right?
our
That's our
culture. Spend a
and
check
then
and get it right
I even
back.
remember that when I was a server, right?
Mhm.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna make it back tomorrow. And then what happens tomorrow? Then it's a slow day.
It's a slow day. Yeah, you make
Yeah.
$100 instead of making three
And
hundred
then stuff
dollars.
be popping up.
Yeah.
So, this is stuff we need to continue to talk about. And another thing I saw,
Mhm.
shout out to we was talking about Paige earlier, Paige Becker. Shout out to Paige because I saw that there was a graphic that that uh that that spotlighted her. She was talking about black women
Yes, I saw that.
remaining. Yeah, she said it's still an issue every single day. There's not ever equal coverage. There's white privilege every single day that I see. I feel like I've worked extremely hard, blessed by God, but I do think there's more opportunities for me. I feel like even just marketability, people tend to favor white people, white males, white women. She said more in the graphic. It was like a
Yeah.
whole carousel.
Yeah,
But
and it's crazy that, they favor white people more because the white people, they get their swag from the black people. So it's
I
like
mean, it's crazy that they favor white people more, and the
we have a whole
predominant athlete of
it's
your
black.
pick any sport except soccer. Pick any sport except soccer and like tennis and golf. But outside of that, we're the
I mean,
majority
we
of the
rule golf
athletes.
because we got Tiger Woods, and
I
sometimes he
mean, we
don't want
got.
to be black. But I
But
mean,
we gotta let Tiger. I mean, Tiger, he's going down now. We still love him though.
we can't let him
No, no, no,
go.
no,
I
no, no, no.
mean,
Tiger is he is an all time great, and I understand why he would not quit. Like I understand, but I'm just saying, like we still love Tiger. One of the best documentaries I've ever seen in my life was a Tiger Woods documentary on HBO.
he had one of the best comebacks too.
Cold. I mean, he did. He
Ever.
did. But I'm
He
just
did
saying,
what he
like,
did, and then he came back. He said, "Hey,
I'm still here. I'm still here. And
you
then, and
still here."
last thing, producer Britt. One of the things I saw, as you know, as the Timberwolves are inching closer to the NBA Finals, as they're inching closer to the NBA Final, I'm standing on it. It's Timberwolves and Knicks in the finals. I don't know who's gonna win,
Well,
but
I don't
Timberwolves
want
and
to
Knicks in the final.
see us lose New York because they're gonna burn the state down if they win.
New York is gonna
I
float
haven't
off.
had the chance to go to New York yet. Don't burn it down.
You haven't gone to New York. You've been to New
No,
York.
I've never
You're
been.
lying.
I've never
Well,
been.
you remember when we
All my
interviewed Erskine?
all my friends.
You're not missing much.
Oh,
Okay,
Erskine said New
you're not,
York is
no disrespect,
dirty.
No
He's
disrespect to
and
my
then
New
he's
York people,
and it's crazy.
but
I've been to Paris, and he goes, Paris is like the international New York. It's dirty, and I was like,
yeah,
I
New
love
York is
Paris.
dirty and they love it. Like you will see rats this big walking down the
Ugh.
street. It's crazy.
I
Anyway,
don't, I
what I
don't
was
want
going what
that New York experience. I want the Manhattan Soho
I mean, that's
house.
fine, but I'm talking about the sidewalk. I'm just talking about the sidewalk. You can see them anywhere. I'm talking about
You
the
can
sidewalk.
oh well.
Yeah.
Well, I still
They
want to
out.
go. I still want to go. I still want to
Go.
go.
Get the
I gotta
experience
see
and
a
come
rat.
back.
If that's the case, I gotta see a rat.
Nah, you
Definitely, I
don't
gotta see a
nah,
rat.
you gonna see too
Ricky
many.
said New York is dirty.
You gonna I'm
Dirty.
telling you. Ricky, what is your Instagram handle? We gotta shout out Ricky, man. We gotta shout out
Oh
Ricky.
my
Drop your
gosh. Ricky,
Instagram
where you
handle in the
from?
chat.
Where you from, Ricky? Where you
Yeah, talk to us,
from?
man. Talk to us. Just so we can show you some love, man.
And that's
But
another thing. Ricky's right. I'm sorry. I know we got to get out of here, but Ricky's right. He said it's hard because people don't want to participate in their own rescue. We have to have ways to change their thinking. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't think different, I guess what environment? Your environment? Or is that just like mindset of yourself?
are you asking me? Wait, what you say? What are you talking
I'm
what in terms
saying,
of
is it
rescuing
about
people?
changing your environment, or kind of what Nuri Muhammad was saying is that it's just all mindset, no matter what your environment is. It's just all
It's
mindset. It's all mindset.
it's a combination of both. It's a combination of both because your environment is going to determine your mindset, right? Because if you're around parents who you've seen been entrepreneurs, then by default, you more than likely are going to venture into entrepreneurship.
But that's in a positive way. I'm talking. Oh,
Well, okay,
damn! What's
well,
up, H? But I'm talking in like in negative outcome. I mean, in negative situations because in Nuri's situation, he said that his mom, why didn't you teach me this stuff? And she's like, I didn't know that stuff. And next thing you know, he just reading Rainbow, and he is who he is today. So I don't necessarily think it's always about your environment. I think it's about your mindset. Because you could change your mindset no matter where your environment is. Because people love to say they got it out of the mud. Mindset and being exposed to the right people. I agree, Ricky. What you got?
yeah. I definitely agree with that. But that's the thing though. Like there's multiple levels and layers to that thing because it can
Yeah,
be mindset, it can be environment, it can be one kid met their mentor and then it changed their life forever, and then they
yeah,
start rocking with that person and they were in a terrible environment and their mindset was trash. Because I used to be that person. Mindset was trash. But
mm.
we've grown a little bit. We've grown
Yeah.
a little
Most
bit. I mean,
suburban kids are. This is how it goes.
yeah,
A little
yeah.
rebellion, little
I get it.
rebellion with a side of a nice house. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about your life?
No.
'Cause I didn't have a night.
Wow.
I didn't. No, I'm just saying. I didn't grow up in. I was in well, Baton Rouge and
Oh, you grew up in
Garland.
the
Garland ain't really
burbs?
a
Oh, okay.
suburb.
My
I don't
school, I
think
could
so.
walk to my elementary school and walk to my middle school and around the corner to
Yeah,
my
I
high
rode
school.
my bike. I rode my bike.
Uh,
But
my parents
man,
did
I
well.
want to.
Okay, so we gotta get out of here because we do have work today. So, y'all have a great day. Jonathan's gonna close us out. Happy Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will be back here on Monday at 6
Yeah,
a.m. and
sharp.
6 a.m. sharp. And also, guys, the Diddy trial is supposed to last 2 weeks. So,
Why you don't? You're not supposed to be happy when you say that,
I'm
especially
not
if we're not really
happy.
doing it.
I'm
You
not
smile. You got to be aware of what your face does when you say that.
I'm
Okay.
not happy. I'm not happy. I'm just saying the Diddy trial is supposed to last in 2 weeks, so we're gonna figure out what is gonna happen because it is getting nitty gritty in that courtroom right now. Okay,
Man,
nitty gritty stuff.
speaking of your environment, y'all be very mindful of your eye gate in this time because them memes about this Diddy trial
Yeah,
is wild,
and make sure you read credible information. Make sure you get you a credible
man.
source. Don't just go based off headlines you see on the internet. Read an article. I challenge everyone today. Read an article. Read an
It's
article.
good
Read an
information.
article. All right, to you,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
All right, family, man. Thank y'all once again for rocking with us as y'all do. I dropped it in the notes over there on the side in the chat. Be sure if you haven't signed up for the email list, hop on the email list so you can be notified and so you don't miss any updates or any episodes. And also, we like to send out some other stuff from time to time. So hop on the email list so you will get that information. And also, I don't know if I told y'all this episode, but I'll say it now. Also, we have a free podcast group to where if you've decided to start a podcast or wanted to start a podcast, I have a whole course, and it was once paid, but now it's free for you because you're a listener of Speaker Success in the Morning. So you can hit that down in the show notes. It's just getpaidwithpodcasting.com. But family, we're getting out of here. This is my final thought. Just mind your manners, okay? And I'm saying mind your manners in terms of what you're watching and then what you're saying to other people, because there's so much going on social media. Y'all, we just need to be kind to people and just mind our manners and mind our words in this season. All right, family. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. But remember, speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why should you and why would you live any other